Right, so now we want to do a Foursquare search. So open up your Finder window, go into the foursquare.py, and that's going to open up this new thing that we want. So in this case, we are going to be bringing back a lot of things. So go ahead and we can delete that and just copy this whole thing right here and go into your functions. And we are going to want to change a few things. First off, we're going to move this within the locus search. Okay, and then now we're going to do def Foursquare search, and it's going to take in a query. And all we're going to do now is push these in. So we want to just go back a little bit, just tab everything in. Actually, these you can select the whole thing, tab it in one more time, print, we'll just leave that. And what we want to do is now we'll do OAuth token. So it's still going to come in from there, and we'll just do, call it token equals to, and then put your OAuth token here. In my case, I'm going to just put Foursquare token because I'm putting it in the .apis. So now I have my Foursquare token here, and for you, you probably had an OAuth token and then it long right here. So make sure that you are taking whatever this was and cutting that out and putting it here just like that, and then saving it. Okay, so what we have to do then is do full URL equals to URL plus token. All right, but we have this latitude and longitude issue, and that's actually the location that we're going to be using. So what we want to do is let's pull this out. Put that there and another paren just like that. So we're going to take this out and call it lat long just like that. And to do this, we need to equals something. Right, so that's gonna equal to something. So lat equals, in this case it's this, and lng equals to this whole thing. And the space between them was that, so we'll do lat plus this plus lng. Now these numbers we got before, and what we actually need to do is we need to use GOP to get it. So let's open up Finder again, and let's open up GOP. And so what we're going to want to do is just literally grab this thing, but instead of what would you want to search, we can actually just, let's copy this and go into functions. We don't need to get the whole thing here. All we need to do is we can change these and put query in here. All right, so find place. Now we need those actually, so place equals lat, or place comma lat, and lang equals to find place of the query. Right, so lat and lang we can actually get rid of now because we now have defined them because of this find place is returning them. So let's get rid of that. All right, so let's move up this. and we can even put that into our function. We don't need it outside of it. The find place function doesn't really need to be out of the Foursquare search at this point, but we will leave it out just in case because we might need it at some point. So now that we have our location, and it should give us the exact coordinates, negative and positive, if they are. And now it should open our URL just fine. So we're going to grab this Foursquare search, go into our views, and we're going to import that now. All right, so in this case, we are going to change this locations. We're going to comment it out just so it doesn't work, and then change locations equaling to Foursquare search of the query. And back into our functions, we will leave these printing for now, but we want to append the ABC name. So let's make a new one called locations equals to an empty list, and then we'll do locations.append, and you can just copy this. So that will append all the venue names. And underneath the for loop, we're going to return locations. So outside of the for loop means it's not indented like all the other ones. So then it will return locations. That way our views are correct. And it will do a very similar thing. So let's save this. Let's go back into Chrome, do a little refresh, and let's type Newport Beach again. Hit submit. Looks like we have an issue with a float and a string, and I know what that is already. So a float is a number, and a string is a string. It's characters and numbers, but floats is definitely a hard number. So what we'll do is we need to go back into our functions, and let's think of where the only place that we're actually using numbers, and that was latitude and longitude. So those are the only places that we're using numbers. So let's convert those into strings here. Alright, so other than that, we weren't using numbers at all when we're actually doing a call. So in bringing numbers and characters together, the only way you can do it is if they're a string. Otherwise, you'll see this type of error. Alright, let's try that one more time. Newport Beach. Hit submit. It's loading. Bad request. Okay, this must mean we have some issue in our code. So let's do a little bit of comparison here. Going to jump into Foursquare and notice that there's this LL, and we missed that completely. Hopefully you guys caught it. We need to add LL equals. So Latin lang, it needs to have that. Oh wow, and we have another space bar right here too. Okay, so let's see if we have anything else. Okay, so URL, we did make this new URL. You might not have print. Oh, right here. So we want to actually make our object being the full URL. Cool. So let's save that. Make sure this is what you've got. And let's go back into Chrome, see if we can do that again. And it's loading. No request error. And this time we now have all of these places that are actually there, and these are real. So we can try it again with New York. And it's loading. There we go. Very cool. And if you notice, we are using, instead of using like in the locality version, we are using the latitude and longitude using geocoders. So we can even print out lat lang. Let's just see what that does. Do a quick refresh, hit continue. Open up terminal. And it's going to print out all this other stuff that we requested it to, but if we go near the top, it shows us the latitude and longitude that it's actually printing out, which is pretty cool. So with geocoders, we can even do 123 Main Street. Let's try, I think Newport Beach will work for 123 Main Street. And if we search that, this should still give us a latitude and longitude, and it does. And it gives us all these places near that street. I don't actually know what these are, but I mean, they are real places. So that's kind of cool. And then it also gives us the Twitter city Oh, well, we're not in Newport Beach, California, so let's try that one more time with Newport Beach, CA. And it didn't find one place mark. We saw this before. So that's, I mean, just keep this stuff in mind when we're going forward. There will be errors that come up with the data. So it is important that we kind of use the data selectively. We don't use everything because in some cases we will find these errors. But this is searching with Foursquare, and the easiest way to just put the other one back on, we just comment out the Foursquare search, and now we do a new search with Loku, and we will still get data. But you know, if you think about this, any user, they wouldn't necessarily know which place this data is coming from, but they will know that the data is there and it's pretty useful. Now, of course, Loku has their awesome food API, which we will discuss later, but Foursquare has a bunch of other things too, like ratings and all that we can also use. So we need to start working towards actually putting these things together so these searches are a little bit more user friendly, and we will do that soon.